It's Saturday, April 13th, 2024. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Greetings everyone, TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report, and TKR WeatherCentral. Welcome to the show this week. It's going to be a ramble show this week. To be honest, I did not get anything done this week. I have been having computer problems all week long. Started with the malfunctioning of my $200+ keyboard. I have to figure out what I did wrong, reinstall the drivers, a whole bunch of stuff. And so I went back to my crappy Dell keyboard. For part of the week, I'm going to take care of it. I'm off on Monday because it's a state holiday and I work for the state, so I'll have 2 days to get things done. I had to work today until 4 o'clock. And I just wanted to touch base with everybody. Make sure you're not, not going to worry about stuff coming up because it's all coming up eventually. I do want to bring up a few things that have been going on in the vinyl community that I want you to be aware of. Starting with the 2024 Vinyl Community Lottery. Robert Z is out there asking for volunteers. The link to Robert's video is in the show notes. It was in there last week too. He only has 9 volunteers right now. I know he went up one because Beth jumped in after his most recent video. He needs 26 to go full on. I sent a letter, emailed Rachel at Rachel's Ghost, Rachel the Music Man, to please publicize it on her show, because Robert's Lottery is so much fun every year. I've been a part of it every year. I've been a part of the vinyl community, and I've been a volunteer, and I've been a participant in trying to win, because who the heck wouldn't love to win that lottery? You got 26 at least people sending you VCLT of stuff that they know that you will like or they want you to try out. And I am always game for that. But I always enjoy answering Robert's interesting questions on how to enter. Last year he had a 10-part one that was really, took several videos, and it was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen those, you should go back and look at them. Because I talked a lot about why I'm a huge Hanson fan, who my favorite voices in music were. I talked about what grails mean to me and all those other great questions. Robert hasn't announced what month he's going to do it. He wants to make sure he has all the volunteers first. Volunteering means you send the winner a gift of some kind related to music. It can be an album, tape, CD, 45, can be a poster, can be a t-shirt, could be a mix of things. And it's hard to do in this day and age when inflation is kind of running rampant. But I've signed up again, and I hope you will too. So if you haven't contacted Robert about being a volunteer this year, I hope you will, because it's always a lot of fun. Robert, as always, Archibald on the first video, I forgot what he called himself on the one that was up today. Always a great deal of fun working this lottery stuff with you, and I hope we do get to pull it off. Now, let's move on to a couple other things. I'm a big fan of a channel by a gentleman who calls himself Mick the Snare. I watch this a lot. And yesterday, he posted a video called In Defense of Jacob Collier. Now, I was unaware, really, of who Jacob Collier was. I'd heard the name. I do follow him on Spotify, so obviously he's in my my release book somewhere. And I'm listening to this guy, and I'm thinking, why are you guys picking on this guy just because he is a music theorist who does all these mashups with people, team ups with like John Legend and a whole bunch of other people. He writes interesting music. He does all kinds of different types of music. I found it interesting, and then I get a notice from Spotify today, hey, Jacob Collier's coming to Boston. Well, yeah, he is. We're still not doing concerts. But I was rather offended by some of the comments that Mick posted, that people have posted about Jacob. And I don't quite get all the hatred. I think he's a good musician. I don't enjoy everything, but I think what I've heard, what I listened to today, was pretty good. I'd like to see him do well. Obviously, he's apparently been nominated for several Grammys. I'm sorry, I'm completely oblivious to who he was, but I'm going to do some research. But I just thought it was, I mean, we've gotten to be at a point in a day and age where we do not need to be slamming people just because of who they are. If you don't like their music, or if you don't like whatever, right now there's a lot of that going on in the pro wrestling community between AEW and WWE fans who can't stand each other. It just seems kind of petty and childish. Somebody has to be the adult in the room, and Mick the Snare stepped up to be the adult when it comes to Jacob Collier. I think it's interesting, and I urge you to go check his most recent video. I'll have a link in the show notes for that as well. There's this thing called Eurovision coming up. I have not heard any of the songs yet. I'm waiting because I want to do reaction videos. I was going to record most of them this past week, but unfortunately, as I said, I've been having some computer issues, and so I'm hoping to get those up in a week or two. There's 37 songs I got to do before the show premieres on May 8th. This year, their 8th, 10th, and 12th of May will be the semifinals and finals. I, of course, have already arranged for my work vacation that week. I always do. And I hear some of the songs are really good, but I haven't seen anything that has really blown up yet on YouTube or Spotify in a big way, unlike in past years. So I'm wondering, is this going to be an interesting year? Luxembourg is returning to this contest for the first time since the mid-'70s, and I think that's very cool. It's going to be a fun contest. However, if you are in the United States, you will be forced this year again to return to YouTube to watch the contest. Peacock has announced they will not be carrying the 2024 Eurovision Song Contest. What the fate is of the American Song Contest, I do not know. It is still up in the air. They are still looking for a new partner. I'd like to see them get off the ground because I found a lot of good artists on that show, most notably Yam House, who I talked about last week. But also Grant Gnocchi and Jared Lee and a number of people. Alexa, the winner of the first and only American Song Contest, has a new single out that's getting airplay. It's interesting, and I hope people will follow it. I will, of course, be doing some Eurovision on Obscuria this year, and I will have the Eurovision previews up, as I always do. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do the live shows like I did last year. I'm going to just do a recap show and post it in the evening. But we will be having more Eurovision coverage, and I'll post a notice when it starts, probably in a couple of weeks. I want to say thank you to everybody that checked out my debut show on Mixcloud. My show, Instrumental, placed 24th on the New Age listening list on Mixcloud last week. And I'm really happy with that. This is a show devoted to all the best musical instrumentals over the years. They're rock, they're pop, they're new age, they're country. I have a little bit of everything. Should be a new one up tomorrow, and I hope that you will check it out along with the other shows that will eventually debut, which include The Soundtrack of Our Lives, The Groove Line, Electric 80s, Label Nova Plus, and a new show called The Music Decks, where I'm going to be picking a general theme and playing songs on that theme each week. And those will all be debuting in the next month or so. Hopefully most of them will come in the next couple of weeks. They were supposed to launch back in December. Nope. The other plans. Lots of other plans. I'm sorry. I feel like Garage Geek. This is one of his stream of consciousness shows, which I love, but don't take offense, my friend. But I don't normally do this kind of stuff, but I didn't get anything new in this week. I do have some stuff ordered, and I have some stuff coming from Whatnot. Don and Mary's 2-hour Whatnot anniversary special this past week went great. I picked up 3 or 4 things there, and I will have some more coming in the not too distant future. Some new releases and such. And of course, this will be the last time I get to talk to you directly before Record Store Day, which is April 20th, 420. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of pot jokes that day. Am I going to go to Record Store Day? Probably not. I've done most of my Record Store Day shopping since I came back to the vinyl community online. That started with the late drops in 2020, and I've kept with it. Haven't missed all of that much doing it that way. There's only 2 things I desperately want, and if I don't get them, I will be very disappointed, but I already have both of them on CD. I just wanted them on vinyl. The Tinted Windows album and the Dead by Sunrise album. I already have both of those on... I have Tinted Windows on CD, and I have Dead by Sunrise on digital. Love those albums, and I hope that I'll be able to grab those and a few other things I have my eyes on when they hit the market on the day after at just 8 o'clock in the morning. Rough Trade sent me a thing saying it was going to be up at 8 o'clock on Sunday. Spin Me Round usually does the same thing. I hope to find more than just those 2, and I definitely want those 2. But I'll give you a complete rundown of all my haul when it gets here. I can't do it that day, obviously, because I'm not going out. And speaking of not going out, we had tickets to see Daddy Frere when he was in town, March 11th. Tried to sell them, couldn't get any buyers, so I ate the money. It wasn't that bad. But he played Big Night Live, which is a new venue here in Boston. It opened about a year and a half ago. It's part of the new North Station Hub complex. And it's a beautiful place. But Dottie posted his vlog. I'm doing a tour vlogs on his website. And this week he finally had something from Boston. We made the right choice. Wall to wall people. I mean, they're scrunched in. We never used to have a problem with crowds, but since COVID, we do not do crowds. And it's our health reasons. We both have issues which could cause problems if we caught COVID, even though we are fully vaccinated times 4. Our doctors both still worry about it, and that was one of the factors that led Kim to retire last month. In any case, Dottie's shows are great. If you get a chance to check, he's got a couple of live concert shows on his website at dottiefrere.com and on his YouTube channel that he's posted from his European tour last year, and they were just great. So I've got to see him live. It's not like I missed him completely. I would like to get back into feeling comfortable enough where I will be able to get back to the movie theaters, to eating out, and to seeing concerts again. There's, Lucas Graham is coming, Lindsey Sterling is coming. All these people are coming to Boston in the next few months, and I'd love to see them all. But I just really feel like we are making the right choice for our health, and I think that's important for both of us. In any case, I am sorry, this is just a rambling edition of the Kirkham Report. I just wanted to get a few things out there, let you know I'm working on the computer issues, and hopefully we'll have everything finally back up and running this week. I'll have that extra day to work on things on Monday. I still have more for the future planned. I still have Summer of 78 planned. It will come before the end of the year. I'm aiming for July 4th, but I'm not going to guarantee it because I'm working on that little by little because I redid the entire thing last year, and I'm still not happy with it. So that'll be coming. I want to do a show on radio formats, the different types of formats in radio and how they operate. I don't know when that's going to be coming, probably next year sometime. I've got a few other things up my sleeve as well. And I hope you'll be along for the ride here on YouTube, on Mixcloud. My name is TKR Mixcloud over there. At my website, thekirkhamreport.com, and anywhere else I may show up, including new shows coming on PNR Networks here on YouTube, which is our old channel with our old movie podcast, Subject Cinema, Kim's old wrestling show, Ring Around the Rosie, and other things are up there. I will be doing some wrestling stuff in the near future also. I'm Right now, after this last week and all the stuff in wrestling, and those of you who follow wrestling will understand, this was a very interesting week because of AEW's Wednesday Dynamite show this week. It turned out to be a little double-edged sword. It was good in some ways and bad in some ways. And last night's performance of Jack Perry at the New Japan show in Chicago really blew everybody's mind at how well the crowd received him. And so hopefully those problems that he had after he and Punk had their little tete-a-tete backstage at All In last summer will bring him back to AEW soon. And that will definitely be a plus for us because we're huge fans. And I still want a scapegoat shirt, but I don't want a scapegoat shirt with the AEW logo on it. Jack, please put your site back up. Please, before you go back. I want a shirt, but not with the logo on it. I haven't bought an AEW thing since Marco Stunt was let go, and I'm not going to in the future. So, there you go. In any case, I'll be doing some wrestling stuff. That's probably going to be over on Twitch. I'll let you know. I have a lot more to come, and this week we will have Radio Retro is ready for tomorrow, and I will have a lot of other stuff going. Hopefully a new instrumental will be tomorrow, and the other shows will premiere as we go along the next week or two. And my regular shows here on TKR Video Central should return this week. I've got them all plotted out. I just couldn't do them because of the computer issues this week. And we will be switching flashback tracks to radio Record World countdowns this week. And Label Nova hopefully will be back on Friday. We'll see. I got to see how everything works and if I can get the computer working again to where it can really be functional. As always, thank you for watching all my stuff. And if you've subscribed already, thank you. If you haven't, I know this kind of show is not going to make you want to subscribe, but I hope you will. Don't forget to like, because that like helps our algorithms here. Please share what you see here. And always leave a comment. I have great discussions with some of my friends online thanks to the comments they leave here and the ones I leave on their site, like Steve Carlson and Richard McCook and a whole bunch of other people. And I hope you'll do that. And if you can see your way fit and you have the extra change around, please consider becoming a patron of TKR Video Central. We can always use it. Until next week, when hopefully this show will be back to normal with new pickups, lots of news, and everything else. You never can tell. I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report, and TKR Video Central. I will see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.